So, alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. I don't know why I ended the live stream. Anywho, I was talking about the speech, and obviously I didn't prepare like I was supposed to. I was supposed to kind of just say to myself to the mirror, but guess what? I don't want to look at myself and say anything to myself in a mirror. I don't want to do that. I'd rather just say it out loud and walk around the house and say it, or record myself saying it and do that. But I didn't even have time to do that. I almost had like 30 minutes to do that before I had to leave for my speech. My heart was pounding the entire day, and when I was walking to my class, I thought I was about to do a backflip because I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna panic. I'm gonna flunk this one." And turns out, God was like, "Listen, everything on the PowerPoint you're gonna remember, and everything on the paper you're written you're gonna remember too." So I was like, "Oh snap!" So when I gave my speech, obviously I remembered the first part of my intro because you're supposed to have a good intro, like an attention grabber, and I remembered like pretty much all of that, and continued to give my speech. Obviously, the worst part of the whole speech was the PowerPoint. I kept looking back. I was kind of facing the PowerPoint more than the crowd, and that was probably the worst thing. That was probably the worst thing I could do, but oh shit, that's probably the worst thing I could do. But it turned out being actually okay, as in memorizing everything that I wanted to talk about. I ran out of time because there was a time limit, and I had so much to talk about, and I didn't realize like it didn't have to be that long. It didn't have to be 5 minutes. I ran out of time because it was so long, and I thought I'd written too much. I need some chat. Please don't flame me in the comments. But yeah, when I figured that out, I was like, dang. Ended up just wrapping it up kind of, and it wasn't great. Ended up with a 67, and I was like, okay, that's what I kind of get. But when the second speech came, which was an epidictic speech, I'm gonna praise or blame someone or something, brand, person's name, who they are. I decided to do Tesla, as in Nikola Tesla. That was pretty good, actually. I prepared for that one. I had a chronological timeline of what I was going to talk about. I had a good intro. I had a PowerPoint with pictures. Actually, that was a really good speech for me. I dressed up nicely, and it was just like I just had a good vibe from the entire thing. And this one girl in class I know of, she gives such good speeches, and I never heard her speech. It's like, wow, how can I learn myself to talk like that? Because she sounded like professionally, like she was talking to like a whole group of people, and the class is really small. It's like about 20, if not less, probably 15 kids. And lucky for me, I mean, can't really do like 30, 50, 40 people. Like, that sounded weird, but you know what I mean. But after class, she walked by and I was like, yo, I mean, your speech is really good, and I would like some help on how I can give my speech and all that. She just gave me some tips, and we created a good connection with each other, and she kind of helped me with the second speech. Well, not really. She just reminded me to, do this, do that, and it ended up working out. So, props to her. And there's maybe one or two other students that did really good, but a lot of the other students are just as scared as I am. But it's just all about preparation and consistency. That's all it is to speech, because I was trying to do all my speeches with no note cards. Ended up being no note cards, and I actually was proud of myself for not really screwing up a lot of them from memory. I might forget a few, things, but usually I look at the PowerPoint. I just look at the PowerPoint and then realize, oh, that's what I'm supposed to talk about, and then I talk about it. But I don't say that out loud. I just say, yeah, okay. But after that speech, I was like, I felt confident. I felt good about it. I had a good. I screwed up one of the last parts of the ending because it was a quote I had to memorize, and I didn't want to use a note card, so I tried to memorize it, and I kind of messed up halfway. But I ended up finishing it, and the very ending, I actually knew all the words I had to say, and I kind of saved myself, so that was good. And I ended up with the 87 on that one. I felt really happy about that one. And she told me how great I did. And after class, her and some other girl that was really not into giving speeches, I think she gave her speech today, but I can't remember. They really liked my speech, and we talked for like 20 minutes. Like her mom was there too, and we all just talked about, I guess she had ties to Northside. She knew a few people from Northside, so it was kind of like a small world thing, but it was great. I mean, and then by the third speech, I mean, I was ready. I was ready to give it. It was my third speech was persuasion, and I decided I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna go back now. I'm gonna give my third speech on procrastination and why. Like, look at me. I'm one of those people, but I think we all need it. And I didn't want it to be kind of like a, oh yeah, don't procrastinate. Like, oh yeah, just start early kind of thing. You gotta think outside the box. You know what I mean? So, what happens when you procrastinate? Is it gonna affect your sleep? Is it gonna affect your stress? Like, I went into detail, and I knew that was a good topic for me and for everyone else, because by the time we were about to give our, like, usually some of the classes we have in speech, most classes, or maybe sometimes, there's 1 week where you give your intro speech and not the entire speech. So give 30 seconds of your intro about what your topic is, what you're going to talk about. It's a Monroe's motivational sequence, so it's basically a need. This is the problem that we need to stop doing. This is the solution to the problem. This is how, or this is what happens when you keep doing it. Visualizing the future after you stop doing that problem. And then, I can't remember the last one. It's kind of just mixed in my head, but I forgot about it. But in the speech, I kind of remembered to use all those factors within my speech, and it ended up being, I think, my best speech that I've probably ever given, as in speeches, because I don't prepare speeches. I'll look at my phone and write something. I'm not going to prepare something for me to say it by memory. But now that I've gotten better at just talking with crowds, or just, I guess, knowing the people, the more people you know, the better it might be. And usually when that's the case, I feel a lot better about myself. And that just ended up being one of my best speeches. And I got the same grade. I don't know why, but I thought I did really good. I should have got like a 90 something. But yeah, that speech class really helped me to just. It wasn't just be like not afraid. Don't be afraid. It was more like be ready to go into it. Be ready to start it. Be ready to look up what you. Or let me try to simplify this, because I can say it forever. Like, don't be afraid to start your topic immediately and get all the information you need. Don't be afraid to list the things that might make people uncomfortable, because that's going to persuade them to do this, do that, sort of for my last speech. So it just taught me to stay on top of my stuff and be ready to present, because I wanted to get a good grade. And the class that was like one of the only classes I actually thought I was struggling in. And it wasn't just me. There was a lot of other kids in that class having a hard time with it. Not really because of speeches, but the quizzes that he gives out are just ridiculous. Like, you think you have the right answer. That's not the case, homie. So most of the time you're getting 60s, if not 70s on all the quizzes. And that was mostly me. I was getting 60s. I don't think I've ever gotten higher than a 60 something on that quiz, because they're 10 questions each. But let's just say, like, hey man, I pulled my grade back up with a good speech, and I wrote some essay for him too. So it just helped me to open up. I mean, just English and speech just helped me to open up a lot, and it felt good. Like, I would definitely recommend those classes, or maybe the speech class, to someone who might not feel comfortable with it. I mean, if I was there to be right there beside him to help him, I'll do that. But there's not really anybody I know that's at SBC taking speech class, because they probably can figure it out on their own. But regardless, it's still a good class. My music class I had, obviously it was a fun class. All you gotta do is learn a few more things about the studio you're gonna be recording in, the instruments you're going to be playing with, the audio effects you need to use, and then you got to get a partner and create a song. Make a proposal, create a song, make a proposal. Think about who's going to be a singer, where's the songwriter. Are they going to be on the record? Just make your song. You got to use the studio. The guy I partner with is amazing, phenomenal with the software he uses, and this is software I don't have to make music. So I kind of looked at him to hopefully just have some answers. And most of the time he was doing more work than I was, only because that was the advantage he had. He was using a software I didn't have. But it doesn't mean I can't help out. I wrote some parts out for people to play, specifically strings, because that's what they were going to record. And it turns out we were the only guys that were going to record strings. I don't know why, but that's what it was. Our strings sounded really good. He helped compose the strings with me, and it wasn't because I needed help. I write music almost every day, so I don't really need help with it. I just have to use my ear. But he just added a few more parts, and the song turned out being really good. It was kind of like a revision, because we had done that song before, but none of the band members liked it. None of the band members liked the way it sounded, and it was on a CD compilation a year or two before, and they didn't like it, so we decided to redo it again. The band was a local band from St. Pete called Speak Easy, and basically, they just play at venues and stuff, but Brendan Porter is one of the people in their band, and it just so happens I know him. I played in marching band with him for about 2 years, maybe 3 years, probably 2 years though. He's really good, and he just switched to bass, so props to that guy, shout out to him as well. It was a really fun time. Here's the beach, if you haven't seen it for a while, because you've been seeing my face, but I just wanted to talk. But anywho, yeah, the band's really good, the guy I was working with really good, and the guy who we proposed our song to really liked where we were going with it. He liked the entire song. I ended up with a 96 in the whole class portion. So I was like, what? That's probably the highest grade I would probably ever get in any class. But hey, it's a song. It's a class that I like doing. It's music and all that. So it's right where my heart contents. But yeah, I enjoyed that class. It seems like I start to enjoy the class when it starts to end, and I give my final overall view on it and stuff like that. And it feels kind of good to just go out or just end the semester with good vibes. It wasn't like, oh gosh, I have to do this, do that. Kind of was like that, but at the end when I saw my results, I felt really good about myself because I was working hard by myself. I wasn't really asking anybody for help. Maybe once or twice, but not every day. I kind of just wanted to handle it on my own, and it turns out it's a good day. But yeah, I'm finally done walking the beach. I'm about to head back to my car. I did have one more class, and that was math class, but math class is math class. No one wants to talk about math unless you're a math class person. Math class is really easy. Probably one of the easiest math classes I'll ever have. I don't know if that's my last class though. It just might be one of my last classes. I'm almost done with my gen ed classes. Yo, it sounds like this wind is so fierce. It feels like someone's gonna throw something out the window, or someone's gonna fly out the window and hit me in the face. But yeah, those were my 4 classes I took this whole semester. I thought it was gonna be a lot. When I was going into the semester, I thought, dang, this is gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a little bit of work. At first, it wasn't, and then yeah, it started to become. It was kind of near the end of the semester. But hold on. But yeah, I mean, now that the semester is finally over, I've never felt so much better about resting than ever. And what I have been doing during the rest is, as soon as my classes were over, I had to prepare for this other thing. It was a play for Carolyn Mulholland, somebody who works at the Dunedin High School, a couple of miles from here. But so you just needed somebody to help fill in, and it was a bunch of Northside kids and some of the Dunedin kids from that school. and we just got together, practiced a few times for the rehearsal and the play. We were the musicians, and it turned out being really good. The second night, first night was it was okay. I mean, faults here and there because the need is not really great, but they're not really known for musical plays, so and they don't have all the equipment. So it was just like it was a bit whack-a-jack. But I really don't want to put any bad vibes or say any bad things about it because it just looks fun. And I get it. I mean, it's kind of her first time doing it all by herself, so that's definitely props to her for doing all that. And I enjoyed it too. I mean, I just had to get used to a few things. Let me put stuff in the back of my car. But I enjoyed that. I got a reward afterwards, and I look forward to seeing if she's going to do anything like that again, because I don't mind. It was really nice yesterday. I think it was sunny, and now it's cloudy. Finally out of the... It's a nice car. Finally out of this gloomy weather, but I enjoy walking on the beach. But that's all I want to talk about. Just school, the semester, my break. Now I'm just kind of off doing nothing, and that's okay. My sister's gonna be here about next week, and we're gonna do some fun stuff. So I'm happy to see how that's gonna go. But for now, I'm gonna be off. I'll see you guys next episode of Livin Live. I'll try to combine those two videos as one, which won't happen, but you'll see them as the same title. All right. See you guys later.